Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be unlock your past to free your future. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So what does this mean? It means post-narcissistic relationship, you not only have a mountain of work in front of you, but you've had to process a lot of things, and you will find yourself going down the rabbit holes of the past, perhaps childhood wounds, perhaps why you entered the relationship, perhaps you were brought up in a narcissistic family, perhaps you fell in love and or married a narcissist. You're gonna have to process an awful lot of things. One of the things you're gonna have to process is that your past cannot just be, you can't just place a band-aid on the past to be able to move forward, specifically post-narcissistic relationship. What you will need to do to heal properly, and in time you will heal, if you take the proper steps and you are stoic, patient, confident, strong, and you understand that you are the priority. But one of the things you'll have to do is you're going to have to go back in the past and understand that the narcissistic relationship is something you weren't prepared for. Most likely you weren't taught this in school and you did not know what you were up against. It was a foreign enemy. It was a foreign being that you did not know how to combat it. And many times when you're in the relationship, you thought it was just you. You were blaming yourself and you were trying to figure out why this individual or individuals who turned out to be the narcissist or cysts, why they behaved the way they did. Like what's going on? Why me? Let's say, as an example, let's say you're a sibling in a family of 5 or 6 or 7 kids, but you're all adults now. Let's say you are what people would call the black sheep. I personally call you the white sheep, which means that you are a different kind of individual. Perhaps you're the only empath in the family. Who knows? But you were the glue that kept the family together for as long as you were in the relationship with these individuals. As time went on, you understood, wow, my siblings, they're not who I thought they were. Yes, we share the same blood, we have the same parents, but they're not even close to like I am. And there are many people like this that feel isolated their whole lives, specifically in the family setting when these individuals, and perhaps you're one of them, if you are, drop comments below, when you grow up and perhaps you have children or families of your own, or perhaps you don't have kids, but what you do is you're looking at your family and your siblings, perhaps even your parents, and you're recognizing, wow, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought families are meant to pull together and help each other out, but I'm the only person that's organizing, planning things, doing things, creating things, and all these people, my siblings, maybe even my parents, all they're doing is they're taking from me, and I can't figure it out. Well, it's because you are the one bright shining light. You are the person that all of the other individuals in your family most likely have identified as a empath or a beautiful human being. Keep this in mind. Not everybody is created like you are. Not everyone has a beautiful, abundant energy and the glow and the charm and the charisma and the positive outlook. And if I didn't say empathy, I'll say it again, that you possess. Many people want to extinguish your empathy and or your bright shining light. And perhaps your siblings fall into that category, perhaps your parents do, who knows? But what you will have to do is you're gonna have to go back in time. You're gonna have to understand why you stayed in these relationships, why you kept on giving to a fault. Were you a people pleaser? Were you a yes person? Could you not say the magic word no, which is the strongest word in the English language? Did you have boundaries at all? And if you had them, were they consistently broken? You will have to go into the past in order to heal yourself, in order to fully understand that perhaps this thing called life isn't what you once thought it was. Remember, when you're younger and you're being told, hey, stick together for the family, you know, what happens inside the family stays inside the family. Don't speak unless spoken to, things like that. I know that's older generation concepts, but it's true. Many times you were guilted into not saying anything. Many times you were guilted into doing things. Many times you were guilted into believing things. And guilt is a very powerful and strong emotion which can be weaponized against you, specifically in the religious setting. If you were brought up, and let's say you went to a school system in a religious setting, guilt is an instrumental way to get you to stay in line. It was back then, and it still is now. Now, what I'm suggesting for you is you would have to go back, post-narcissistic relationship. Let's say it is a sibling, and you've now gone no contact, blocked this individual, deleted all flying monkeys and or people associated with them. In other words, you took action. You did what many people don't want to do or can't do. They're not strong enough, and they believe that blood, in fact, is thicker than water. Truth of the matter is, I can assure you, and play this again, your family, whether they are biological or not, maybe you were adopted, the point being, many of these people, they do love you and they care about you. That's a fact. Some of them may not. The point is, along life, you will have found friends that actually care about you more than your immediate family. Tough pill to swallow, but it's real and it's true. That is why so many times people say, oh, well, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Think about it. You really can't pick your family, can you? And you just have to stay with your brothers and sisters, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, and you're supposed to support them to the best of your ability. Until when? Until you can't take it any longer. Until perhaps you've had enough of the poor behavior, until you've loaned these individuals money so many times, and then you know now that they're never going to pay you back. Or you've given them rides, and you know that when you need a ride, allegedly their car broke down or they don't have gas money and you have to pay for that. And even then, you agree to those terms, and then they show up 30 minutes late and you missed the appointment. In other words, you were never the priority for these individuals. And I'm not focusing specifically on brothers, sisters, moms, dads, aunts, uncles. It could be friends, could be people you're in a community or organization with. It could be romantic interests, could be your kids, who knows, could be neighbors, could be coworkers. Whoever the narcissist is, keep in mind, they're trying to extract from you. They're trying to take you down in the low vibrational state, the quagmire where they vibrate, where all it takes for you, a empath or a beautiful bright shining light, is to slip up once, perhaps experiencing reactive abuse, and then boom, they'll weaponize that against you for the rest of the relationship. That's all it takes in these toxic relationships with the narcissist. They can do anything they want to do until you get the wisdom. And if you slip up even once, believe me, they have a memory like a steel trap. They'll bring it up 15 years later. Remember that time that you dropped the knife during Thanksgiving dinner and it got on the carpet, and it took a couple hours to clean that up? And you're like, what are you talking about? I was 12. Well, this is the kind of thing that they bring up. Understand it. It's the mentality you're dealing with. The narcissist wants you to not vibrate higher. They don't want you to heal. They don't want you to learn. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to become the best version of yourself. So going back in time and processing perhaps childhood wounds or perhaps the relationships that you were a part of, these are instrumental parts on the healing path to get you where you want to be. Keep this in mind. Many people get stuck in the past. They sincerely do. They can't get over a certain relationship. They can't get over a death in the family or the loss of a loved one, etc. When you're stuck in the past, you can't be free to live in the present moment. It's impossible. You can't do it. Why? Perhaps because each and every day when you wake up, you're thinking about that long lost love, somebody that perhaps broke your heart or passed away or whatever from 10 or 15 years ago. Well, think about it. That person's not on the planet any longer. You are. You need to say, you need to be at peace with that relationship. Understand it served its purpose, which was the exact length of the relationship. That person's not on the planet any longer. You are here. You need to cut yourself free from that relationship, meaning drain the mental baggage out of your mind, off your shoulders, live in the present moment. Another thing, individuals get stuck thinking about the future, the what ifs of the future. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen if this person does A, B, and C and X, Y, and Z, and they're stuck like, oh my gosh, I don't know, what should I do? Should I go to the barbecue? Is that person going to be there? What's happening? That's not the path either. Now, I understand each and every one of us is on the healing path. We're all heading in the same direction, just taking different footsteps. So where you may be, maybe your relationship just ended a week ago. Another individual's relationship may have ended 10 years ago. So there's different time frames for all this. But using that barbecue example, living in the future, no, if you're strong enough, you should be attending that barbecue. You should be gray rocking the narcissist or toxic individuals, having the best experience for yourself. Because why? Because this life is meant to be a journey. It's meant to be experienced, relished, cherished, honored. And you're supposed to have the best time on this planet that you can without inflicting damage upon others. In other words, living free, being free, and experiencing life. At the same time, your life should be toxic free, meaning minimize the people that are trying to drown out your energy, minimize the people that are trying to use you as a sounding board, minimize the people that are trying to steal your energy from you. Having said all these things, the present moment is the path. And when you have healed, I can assure you, you are living in the present moment, because now you drowned out the naysayers. Now your inner circle is much smaller. Now you've processed childhood wounds. Now you've healed why you stayed in the relationship. Now you understand narcissism. Now you understand there are toxic individuals all over the planet. Many of them don't have your best interest at heart. Many of them want to be you. Many of them are jealous of you. Many of them can see you in a moment's notice and be like, wow, that person has special energy. I want some of that. Let me try and strike up a friendship with the individual, which turns out to be you. And then boom, next thing you know, if you don't have boundaries and don't vet these people, you could find yourself in another narcissistic relationship. But as the thumbnail mentioned, you have to go back in the past in order to heal and in order to live in the future, to live in the present moment. You have to do it. The healing path, I can assure you, it's not linear. Each and every day will be challenging, some days more challenging than others. You may even experience the dark night of the soul. Some people experience it more than once. You may just, at the time you're feeling as strong as you've been in years, lo and behold, you get a hoover from whom? The narcissist, whoever they are. And they may try to take you down into that relationship again, only for one purpose, which is to consume your energy and to have you stay vibrating down low with them. Understand this. Again, briefly, the hoover appears many times when you are feeling at your strongest, or you're just getting strong, you're just recovering, you're just understanding that you are the priority. And lo and behold, boom, here's something. You get an email from the individual saying, hey, can you please send me that old shoelace that I've had from 12 years ago, from the sneakers that are in the trash can downstairs? Can you please send that to me, because I really need them? And you're like, what are you talking about? Or the famous one, hey, I just got this offer in the mail. It's sent bulk mail, but it's addressed to you. Do you want it? And you're like, what are you talking about? Who are these people? See, that's another thing. Well, when you're well on your way on the healing path, if you can laugh at things like that, I mean, really laugh authentically, not force the laugh, of course, that's when you know you're healed or you're healing. Because you can look back on these relationships and say to yourself, my goodness, wow, I can't get over this. I stayed in that relationship for so long. I was in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog, being devalued, and I stayed in it. The reason you stayed in it, I can assure you, is because you didn't know what you were up against. Now you do. Now you're getting the wisdom. Now you're coupling that with your experience and your education, and you're understanding you do have to have boundaries. But going back, you're going to have to go back. You're going to have to rip that Band-Aid off eventually. You're going to have to process things that perhaps you don't want to process. One more thing before I close the video. I too had to do this. I had to process the death of my mother when I was 16. Now I attended the funeral and I did everything. I was there with my dad and my brother and others, and I didn't shed a tear. I was stoic, I was calm, I was centered. I thought I was being the pillar for the family. Nothing could have been further from the truth. I didn't heal that wound, and that led me to enter the narcissistic relationship later on in life, and that kept me to become a people pleaser, a yes person, and not have boundaries, and for me to be looking for something in virtually my whole relationships throughout my life. Until when? Until the narcissistic relationship for me ended, and I had to put myself back together. And then I understood, wow, I have a lot of work to do, which is what this video is about. You will have to go back in the past many times and process things, and only you can do it. You can't read a book, you can't see a therapist and have them do the work for you. You can't journal about it. You can't wave a magic wand or pill. You can't watch a video to get you to do this. These are steps that you will have to take to do it for yourself. In other words, all those things I just mentioned, they're all tools, and they can help you get to where you want to be. But you are going to have to do the inner work. You're going to have to be authentic and genuine with yourself and understand that, yes, you will have to go back in the past in order to live your future and create your future. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. You are an amazing, abundant, beautiful human being. Don't let anybody steal your thunder. Don't let anybody steal your energy. Don't let anybody tell you negative things. Believe in yourself always. I believe in you. I'm sending you a huge virtual hug from underneath this beautiful tree on this absolutely gorgeous afternoon. No matter where you are on the planet, remember this. You are not alone. And where you are today is not where you will be in 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Continue to make improvements each and every day in your life. Continue to stay on the path and continue to understand your value. I love you all. God bless you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys.